Production number 2, labor, the workforce. Factor production number 3, capital, human and money. Factor number 5, entrepreneurship.
Museveni emphasized the need for a broader vision regarding the Nile River's future, on that prioritizes prosperity, electricity, irrigation and clean water for all Nile Basin countries.
If we put this in the documents instead of the other approach of we and them, then we shall see for the most scientific ways of how this can be done. And from what I was discussing with some of the ministers, I think the problem is not as big as it looks. It could be the approach.
On bilateral cooperation, President Museveni praised Egypt's support in supplying vaccines to combat foot and mouth disease in Uganda and welcomed plans to build a vaccine factory locally.
And His Excellency has agreed to build a factory in Uganda for foot and mouth vaccine. I'm very happy with that.
He highlighted the importance of economic cooperation for Africa's progress, saying that trade between African nations should be intensified to reduce dependence on Europe, which poses risks.
So therefore, we, the Egyptians, the Ugandans, the East Africans, the Africans should understand the importance of the market. First of all, work bilaterally, Uganda and Egypt, so that you buy from us, we buy from you, but also work with all the others. Because without production, without a market, the business will collapse.
The leaders also discussed regional issues, including peace efforts in Libya, Sudan and Palestine, with President Museveni calling for dialogue and stability.
And I'm glad he invited us. We have had a very good dialogue, even on these problems of Libya, of Sudan, of Palestine. We have discussed all that.
The Egypt's president highlighted the Nile's vital role, noting Egypt's reliance on the river as its only significant water source. He assured that Egypt supports equitable sharing of Nile waters and sustainable development across all basin countries.
واحنا بنعول كثيرا على اللجنة السباعية اللي بقيادة أوغندا لأنها تصل بنا إلى توافق لاستفادة الجميع والتعاون لدول الحوض، لأن دول كتير عندها موضوعات مماثلة وصلت إلى تفاهمات واتفاقيات تبقى للكل، وإحنا عايزين نصل لهذا الأمر يعني.
Earlier, a series of landmark agreements were signed between Uganda and Egypt to boost cooperation in trade, investment, agriculture, water management, and governance. Uganda's ministers for internal affairs, foreign affairs, agriculture, finance, and water joined their Egyptian counterparts to formalize partnerships aimed at driving economic growth and sustainable development.
President Yoweri Museveni has called on Egyptian investors to channel capital and entrepreneurship opportunities into Uganda for the two countries to transform their centuries-old Nile connection into a powerful engine for economic growth. He was speaking at the Egypt-Uganda Business Forum in Cairo alongside his host, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. President Yoweri Museveni declared that his visit was driven by one overriding mission: attracting wealth. The Egypt-Uganda Business Forum attracted about 200 participants on the theme strengthening trade and investment cooperation between Uganda and Egypt.
Two countries increased to $138 million in 2012 24, Egypt exports to Uganda grew to US dollars 112 million, and Uganda's exports to Egypt grew to shillings 26 to US dollars 26.8 million.
An Ugandan business forum that is encouraging both countries to expand their industries in the pharmacy sectors and pharmaceutical sectors and in the trade sector. My dear brother, I believe that the establishment of such a forum with your honorable attendance is a great step to getting our relations deeper within the framework of a forum that is achieving bilateral interest for both countries. And I believe that the entrepreneurs in Egypt and Uganda should be the main driver of such a partnership in the sector of the trade, investment and industry. And this should be under the umbrella of our local policies, the policies of Uganda and Egypt.
So, Your Excellency, Egypt and Uganda are linked by the Nile since time immemorial. But as you heard, the trade is small. $133 million, then the other one, something. Really, this is does not match the relationship. We are looking for capital. We are looking for entrepreneurship. The economy of Uganda is growing very fast. It was very low. It had a very low base, but it has come up. Uganda is now a lower middle-income country. It's no longer a least developed country. But partly because of this correct packaging of philosophy, ideology, and strategy. If you don't get this correct, you will not move. And the economy will go even much faster where we are going. So therefore, we are looking for partners with the capital, partners with entrepreneurship. The natural resources are there, the labor is there. Also, there's some capital locally, there's also some capital, also some entrepreneurship is there. It's not totally absent, but we need reinforcement.
Prime Minister Robin Nabbanja has said that Uganda is advancing responsible biotechnology as part of a broader public health and development agenda. She called for a national biosafety framework to promote scientific research. Nabbanja was speaking at the opening of the Strategic East Africa Regional Engagement on Biosafety and Environmental Regulation in Kampala.
The Prime Minister Robin Nabbanja has opened the East African Regional Engagement on Biosafety and Environmental Regulation, advancing trans-border dialogue on research, regulation and appreciation of genetically modified mosquitoes for malaria control and elimination.
This meeting has brought people from multiple countries: Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria, USA and Burkina Faso, to help discuss and come up with a framework and also understand the results coming from the research they are dealing to modify malaria.
On transboundary biosafety issues should come out clearly from out of this meeting, how we are going to strengthen this regional awareness, especially on the biosafety issues across the border. We'd like to see shared advances in biotechnology and also regional practices. We also like to learn, especially in West Africa, where I've done integrated vector management platforms.
The Prime Minister, Robin Nabbanja, said government will advance responsible biotechnology through the National Biosafety Framework.
We are working on a district biosafety law to help us move forward steadily. I repeat, we are localizing at least up to the district level. And we recognize that biosafety is not just a national priority, but a regional imperative. No country can manage transboundary risks in isolation. We can't do this alone.
She urged African countries to align policies that match with the new technologies.
We must act collectively to align policies, strengthen oversight, and build public confidence in new technologies. Allow me to sincerely thank AODA, NEPAD, for its steadfast leadership in fostering regional dialogue and supporting member states through the Africa Integrated Vector Management Program. Your commitment to innovation, governance, and capacity building is helping shape a safer and more resilient continent.
On this trajectory, we hope that we'll continue building on the efforts that have been there before, so that we work to create a safe and clean path forward through establishing a strong science-based regulatory foundation to ensure that the genetically modified mosquitoes are developed and used safely.
The Deputy Chairperson on the Health Committee of Parliament, Dr. Opio Samuel, noted that as members of Parliament will support its plans of setting up the district biosafety law to protect the ecosystem.
So that is why we need to go at the local level to see how best do we ensure that the frameworks are strong enough, and that is why this dialogue is very, very key. We must reach that point whereby we don't just say, right now the big concern is how do I prevent it moving from Kenya to Uganda or across East Africa. But now the bigger question we are saying, even moving between two districts.
Thank you, Right Honourable Prime Minister, and on behalf of the
The Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has called on leaders in the NRM to be united and embrace integrity, honesty, and transparent. She warned that divisions within the party could have disastrous consequences for the country. Mrs. Museveni, who also serves as NRM Chairperson in Ntungamo, stressed that nation building requires unity and cooperation.
Museveni, who also serves as NRM Chairperson for Ntungamo District, stressed that nation building requires unity and cooperation. She further condemned the contestation and the chaotic standoff between supporters of Bitahiro Sebastian, LC3 Chairperson for Rechinihiro Sub-County, and Asman Chigongo, the Ntungamo District Vice Chairperson. The two previous contenders for the position of Secretary for Finance, which caused suspension of the previous election of Secretary for Finance and left many NRM supporters in Ntungamo divided.
Building a nation is exactly like building a family home. Both require unity. When you refuse to unite at the family level, you cannot build a home. That applies to a nation also. People refuse to unite and work together, they cannot build a nation.
The First Lady was addressing over 500 NRM delegates from the 34 sub-counties and town councils in Ntungamo District who converged at Chamate Playground to participate in the repeat election for the position of Secretary for Finance on the NRM District Executive Committee.
Many of these people here are younger people, so it is possible that you don't know where Uganda has come from. It was because of refusing to unite as leaders of this nation that Uganda had to go through a very turbulent past. You have to remember that your children require a peaceful country after you. Therefore, ntwenda kwombeka obusinge obwentuura.
She reminded the NRM leaders that to be a leader requires to accept to serve people as servants and not rulers. She also said everyone should remember that they are responsible for safeguarding the peace they are enjoying today. The First Lady congratulated the Ntungamo NRM delegates for the peaceful elections conducted with integrity and urged them to keep on doing the right and peaceful things that will ensure that Ntungamo remains peaceful and a model to other areas. Tushabe Agnes emerged winner with 397 votes, defeating Regina Bainom Gisha, who polled 156 votes. A third candidate, Bujiri Kansime, withdrew from the race in the interest of party unity.
I really want to thank God for today. I am very humbled that I've emerged as the winner for this position, Finance Secretary, NRM Ntungamo District, and I thank God for this victory. But I also want to thank God, Mama Janeti Kataham Museveni. She has been here, she has blessed this election, and I think for the first time we've had the most genuine election here, because I cannot say, it was so transparent. I'm so humbled and I'm so happy. I can pledge that I'm going to work with the NRM people of Ntungamo District for the betterment of our mighty party, National Resistance Movement.
Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Bank of Uganda has maintained the central bank rate of August 2025 at 9.8% in a bid to maintain stability of Uganda's economy. Despite a volatile and uncertain external environment on the continent and on the international scene, Governor Bank of Uganda, Michael Atingi-Ego, attributes continued stability of Uganda's economy to continued investor confidence and stable exchange rate positions favoring the shilling.
Of months, the price of goods and services in Uganda have remained relatively stable, remaining below the medium-term target of 5%, prompting the committee's stance to maintain the central bank rate. Over the past 14 months, the Uganda shilling has strengthened against major currencies, especially the US dollar, which stood at 3,590 by press time today. This appreciation is mainly due to higher coffee and cocoa exports, earning over $2 billion in financial year 2024-25, and increased interest from foreign investors in government securities.
Currently, we have been relying largely on government securities as fixed income products. But now we want to broaden the products in there. And some of the products that we're thinking of introducing the market are things like diaspora bonds, sukuk bonds, green bonds, and infrastructure bonds. The increased offers of government securities in the market has attracted a number of offshore players. And when they come with dollars, exchange it for shillings to participate in the government securities market. But more fundamentally is the dollar has been weakening world over.
We are not only depending on American market, on one single market. We have diversified our inflows. The governor has told you the coffee, 2.1 billion. We have gold, 3.8 billion. We have remittances, 1.4 billion.
However, central bank financial analysts say that this situation hurts exporters who must sell to other markets when the dollar is weak. So government must ensure that such enterprises are sustainable.
So that's why we emphasize macroeconomic stability. So long as the trend or they have macroeconomic stability in whichever direction, whether it is up and down, then we are sure that whatever happens, come medium term or long term, that will not really affect the economy, provided macroeconomic stability is maintained.
How do we lower the overall cost of doing business? The exchange rate is only one tool, but we need to look at a broader aspect, because there are a number of factors that affect the cost of doing business, that affect the cost of exporters. What are we doing about those? Take, for example, the cost of energy, the cost of transport and labor and what have you.
Bank of Uganda watches market forces locally, regionally and internationally to maintain financial system stability. The Monetary Policy Committee report is Bank of Uganda's update on the state of the economy, explaining recent changes in inflation, growth and the shilling's value. It also outlines the actions it will take to keep prices stable to support economic growth. Wadulo Arnold Mark in Kampala.
State House Anti-Corruption Unit has arrested 8 men and a lady for defrauding a Nigerian national in a fake gold deal. They obtained $70,000 promising to sell 150 kgs of gold, but upon paying the money, they disguised that government had put restrictions on foreigners to acquire such huge amounts of gold.
The suspects include Tibasima Barbara, Arias Katushabe Sharon, a Ugandan secretary at Emlod Company Limited, Paluku Chisase Congolese Nation, Safari Akonkwe Congolese Nation, an agent of Legacy Refined Company, Isaac Amponde, Abdul Majidu Kaime Gold Smelter, Mabongo Prince, a Congolese Nation, a gold seller from Congo, and Kajubi Tevin Chome, a Ugandan, and a representative of Emlod Company Limited. The 8 were arrested by State House Anti-Corruption Unit, together with security operatives on 16th August 2025 in Muyenga, allegedly selling gold to a Nigerian nation.
It was last week, on the Wednesday, on the 6th of August, when this gentleman came to us, gave us information to the effect that there were fraudsters, Congolese nationals, who had partnered with our local people here, and they were scamming him in a gold deal.
Bamwine says the suspects always target foreigners in the disguise that they work with government officials and relevant government institutes to sell genuine gold well as not.
They perpetuate this is that when such a person, you know, these people, how they do it is that they create websites all over. And now people, unsuspecting people, now start an engagement with these fraudsters. And in the process, now for our case, they will have contacts in Uganda. They will now fly in to the country and get into contact with these people here.
The victim is a Nigerian nation and a member of parliament in Nigeria, narrated how he came in touch with the said fraudsters to the effect that he was persuaded to make a deposit of $70,000.
My partner in Dubai informed me that in Uganda there is gold that usually comes in from the DRC, and then paperwork is processed here, and then the gold is moved to Dubai. We thought it was a good opportunity to explore.
He added that although he paid the required money to them, all was in vain when he requested to be delivered with the said gold.
And then they claim that once it is stored in that house, you cannot get it out until you do some paperwork. He said, which started to raise our suspicion. They claim that the government of Uganda has put a limit to the percentage of the gold you bring in that you can export out of the country. They claim that you have to take 20% of the value of the gold that was declared by the community at the border that was brought into the country.
State House and Corruption Unit heads say such fraudsters affect the development of the country. Since they target potential investors, the 8 who are now waiting to be arraigned in court, Bamwine called upon the entire public to be vigilant and always report such similar incidences to the relevant authorities. According to records with State House and Corruption Unit, they have so far received cases from investors who have been defrauded by such fraudsters of over $10 million in such gold scam in Uganda. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
Abantu baffe aba
NRM Secretariat officials have met with Central Executive Committee aspirants and decried the indiscipline that some of them display during the campaigns ahead of the 28th Delegates Conference. Party Secretary General Richard Todong expressed more disappointment with the incumbent CEC members who were absent in the meeting without notice or representation.
In among the NRM Central Executive Committee aspirants prompted the party secretariat officials to convene an emergency meeting. During the meeting held at Plot 13, Chadondo Road in Kampala, saw over 200 aspirants, mainly new entrants, turn up, with most incumbents absent, that the party Secretary General Richard Todong decried.
We have to follow our constitution to show that we are disciplined cadres. If the national chairman could offer to come personally to pick his nomination papers and also come to be nominated.
He urged the aspirants to respect the NRM principles and the party constitution.
And so we thought, as candidates at that level, you should come and we help you repackage you, so that when you go to look for votes, you go when you are reformed.
The same call for respect for one another was also made by the first National Vice Chairperson, Alhaji Moses Chigongo.
Respect yourself. Don't antagonize others. No, respect them. If you do that, everything will be easy for you.
The SEC new entrants raised the red flag over the vetting of them by their fellow incumbent aspirants, citing conflict of interest.
Right now, we have a direct complaint as the individuals contesting for SEC. You'll find that in the vetting process, you'll find that all the SEC members right now are campaigning as a group, as a clique. They are going together.
On the position where I'm contesting, there is a son, a biological son of the EC chairman. How will I believe that?
I'm a victim myself. They are saying I shouldn't stand for any position in this country. But because NRA originated from NRA, when my brothers were fighting on the battlefield, they did not say Kaguta family is going to lose 2 sons.
We are part of the organizing. They are telling us how we are going to be voted, how voting is going to be conducted, but they are telling us we have to be vetted. The people who are supposed to vet us are the incumbent SEC members who are also seeking for re-elections. They told us we should wait for vetting. But for them, the people who are supposed to vet us, they're already in the field.
Meanwhile, many of the aspirants agree that politics of do or die is not healthy for NRM and call for peaceful campaigns among the SEC members.
The guidelines have been issued, and I believe we as candidates are supposed to abide by it, because through this we'll be able to have a free and fair elections.
To get a fair elections, and also if we get fair elections, that means we are promoting our party.
I am happy that the Secretariat called for this engagement with us. It is relieving because we had issues concerning especially the delegates lists.
Yeah, this meeting was a great one because it harmonizes some of the challenges that we anticipated, some of the worries that we thought would hinder our successes and coming through.
SEC members and special interest groups will be voted on 27th and 28th August 2025. The candidates will be vetted by SEC first before voting, which will be by lining up behind the candidate. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi akabibiona. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi akabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Colleagues, elections for special interest groups are calling. SITs, elections, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders, June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders. No! Elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Musumba Ezekiel okuva Kenya. Musajja wa Katonda Mukama amukozesa mujje mu crusade egenda okubeera ekirombe manye obulamu bwamwe tebugenda kusigala kyekimu.
Uganda, are you ready for the biggest revival explosion? New Reference Center in the Church presents a revival healing crusade by Pastor and an international evangelist, Ezekiel from Kenya.
Shine, shine, shine. You shine and you shine. And just in the name of Jesus.
It will be held from 13th to 17th August 2025 at Zambia Chirombe Grounds, Kampala. Time 8 a.m. Come and take your miracle.
Mwenna abantu b'ekirombe mwenna abali awo mujje mu lukuŋŋaana. The Lord will seriously bless you.
All you are welcome.
UBC News Tonight. Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. Now, the Uganda Broadcasting Corporation UBC board chairperson Dr. James Tumusime has eulogized the late Mary Kuru as an experienced author and a seasoned politician. Tumusime shared his experiences working with Kuru in the field of creative writing and the promotion of literature.
The demise of former Minister for General Duties in the Office of the Prime Minister, Mary Kuru, has brought deep grief to her relatives and friends. Many have come forward to share memories and experiences from her lifetime.
We published 5 books of hers, but even before she started publishing, we were friends and we used to discuss a lot about the book industry in this country and how to promote authors and publishers. She was very, very helpful.
Dr. James Tumusime, the board chairperson of the Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC, and the managing director of Fountain Publishers, reflected on his interactions with Kuru, particularly in the field of writing and publishing.
What would call a mother hen, she was now promoting the young chicks, people were coming up. Because she had already done what was required, what was expected. When she started, she was writing simple, small books in the early 90s. Then she formed the organization called FemRight. an association of women writers in Uganda, which also became very successful. And there she was, I think, one of the top executives. And I think at the time of his death, he must have been an advisor to the organization.
Karoro will be remembered for her artistic and culturally rich literature.
Activists usually who are writing mainly political subjects, but for her, she was mainly in the creative, in the social. She was mainly in the social area of writing, as you have seen here. Most of her books are in the social area. Much as he was politically active and conscious, but she was a realist. She was pragmatic, so she knew what was happening in the country, what ought to happen, and what was happening. And I think she was the type who was, you'd have called her an apologist for the government, because she was serving the government.
She influenced the development of the publishing industry by promoting a mindset shift toward valuing local writing and publication.
And when she went into politics, she brought more credibility. She raised the profile of authorship and writing. So even we, the publishers, felt happy when we have published a minister.
Many of her literary works were adopted by the Ministry of Education and Sports and Fountain Publishers.
All her books are well protected, at least as far as we are concerned, and we occasionally paid her royalties whenever we sold books that, like a book like this one, The Curse of the Sacred Cow, was a set book for government schools. So there we were able to sell some books and pay her royalties. Even these ones of children, we are paying her royalty.
The publishing industry in Uganda faces content piracy, a battle to which the late Karolo Clot contributed.
You have a lot of people who go and pirate it and abuse the copyright. So the authors don't benefit, neither do the publishers. Because our system is still fluid, we don't have strong laws. You've seen we've been struggling with the government. Please strengthen the policing of the Copyright Act. So until the Copyright Act is well policed.
Among the books by Mary Kuru are The Invisible Evil, The Official Wife, The Curse of the Sacred Cow, The Switch, The Blood, and The Man Who Ate His Eye, among others. Abdunasiri Luwama for UBC.
Yes, Uganda is mourning the death of former cabinet minister, academic and celebrated author Mary Kuru, who died at the age of 70. She died on Monday, August 11th, 2025, leaving a legacy of service, scholarship, and advocacy.
She was so active during one of the periods that nearly brought the world to its knees, including Uganda, COVID. Determined to end the pandemic, she joined the task team to guide against its effects, to the extent that she led by example when she became among the first people to take the COVID jab.
We want to thank you, Right Honorable Prime Minister, for leading the National Task Team, which is doing a very, very good job. And everybody, all Ugandans, because the message has now sunk.
Mary Kuru was born on December 8th, 1954, in Bushenyi district, rising from humble beginnings to become a towering figure in Uganda's public life. earning her Bachelor of Arts in Literature, Master of Arts still in Literature, and a Diploma in Education from Makerere University. She taught literature and communications. It is her passion for literature that led her to found FemWrite, the Uganda Women Writers Association, an influential platform that nurtured generations of female authors. Her own works, including The Invisible Weevil and The Official Wife, explored themes of identity, gender, and justice. After becoming Woman Member of Parliament for Bushenyi District, she served in several cabinet roles.
The people who have already sent in donations and the ones who want to send in donations, we are standing together as a nation. The solidarity out there is immeasurable.
She was Minister for Information and National Guidance, Minister for Gender, Labor and Social Development, Minister for General Duties in the Office of the Prime Minister, and Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs. One of the last moments she appeared in public was during the funeral and burial of Onapito Ekomoloid in Soroti and Amuria. The duo had served as presidential press secretaries, a service they both cherished.
Nara Yona one time told me that we need each other. That when you look at the organ, it has white keys, it has black keys. In order to get harmony, you have got to play both. The white keys and the black keys. The black keys. Ona, you have gone well. May your soul rest in eternal peace.
Mary Kuru leaves behind a legacy of intellectual consistency, political service, and legendary smartness. She will be remembered not only for her achievements, but for the lives she touched across Uganda and beyond. Henry Okrut, UBC.
May her soul rest in eternal peace. Preparations are in high gear as the Uganda People's Congress, UPC, heads into their primaries this Saturday. Party President Jimmy Akena earlier said this would not be business as usual.
Going to do is 2026, we are going to resume normal business with the dominance of UPC.
Uganda People's Congress has intensified mobilization in Lango sub-region, although the party has recently been in the spotlight over leadership before a virtual delegates conference granted Akena another year in office.
As the delegates of UPC, we had no option, not even to amend, but to delete, because it was inconsistent with the national constitution, the term limit in UPC.
In Aleptong District, Chairperson David Kennedy Udon, seeking a second re-election, says improved district performance gives him confidence to retain his seat and seems ready for the primaries.
I'm proud that we have brought back Aleptong from number 147 to number 45. So this success is always attached to monetary value. So out of that alone, we got additional 174 million because of the good improved performance.
An executive order by Kenya has expanded the voter base to include village branch executives, swelling the number of delegates. Over 100 candidates have been nominated for parliamentary and district chairperson positions, with a majority from northern Uganda. While some candidates say the order came late, many welcome the inclusivity.
I'm now mobilizing to go back to my seat.
If UPC is to deliver for the people of Uganda, my party leader should be elected president of Uganda, such that we can stop crying of roads.
I think the secret ballot is fantastic.
Odon praises UPC's voting method.
And NRM, if they don't change immediately from that trend, in the next election, they will not find anybody who is going for voting. The other person who is not your uncle is better than your uncle. But now you must go and stand behind somebody. I would rather opt for going away and then...
In Kwale district, the race for woman member of parliament is between former ambassador Joy Ruth Achenga and former Lira woman MP Joatim Mungom.
I've never been yellow.
For Lira City woman MP, Gender Minister Beta Mongi is unopposed. In Apache municipality, Maxwell Akora stands unchallenged after his rival Patrick Ochan was expelled.
See, I have been UPC, I'll go with UPC.
And in Amolatar, the current district chairperson, Geoffrey Uchenna, is unopposed for Kyoga North parliamentary seat. Edulwa, UBC News.
Sheikh Fiso has called upon Ugandans to safeguard peace as the country approaches the election period, warning against divisive and harmful action. We have the details.
Sheikh Fiso warned against those causing chaos and misusing resources for selfish gain. He revealed some charcoal stoves meant for Ndeje Rufoka residents were misused.
Countrymen is to be calm and not to be engaged in demonstrations and kavuyo and whatever. Everybody should be calm and obey and keep moving the government, because for the 40 years we have seen the peace with the president the NRM government brought.
The late Haj Dungu's bond with President Museveni inspires Sheikh Fiso's family to support unity and national progress.
Decided to give this donation after getting some friends. We decided together to give this donation in the name of the name of the President of Uganda, His Excellency the President Yoweri Museveni, and on behalf of our Mama Janet Museveni, so that the friendship which was there before between my dad, the late Haji Dongo, and the president, because the dad used to show us when we were still young that he was a friend of the president.
He highlighted his work with eco-friendly charcoal stoves made from materials that protect the environment.
We made it how to conserve the environment. It uses used up oil, as you see this jerry can. It's full of used up oil you get from borders, motorcycles, cars, each and every vehicle that uses oil. After using your oil, the used up oil is the oil we use in this store.
Residents urged the president to empower responsible leaders to guide Uganda peacefully.
These stoves are going to help us in savings, because they do not use, they are very good. They use the oil, which is easy to get. You can even get it for free. So we are very thankful. We thank His Excellency the President of Uganda, Sheikh Fiso. Thank you for the good work you are doing for the community.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Uganda is prioritizing the establishment of e-waste management centers under the National Development Plan 4 in response to the growing demand for digitization. This was revealed by Dr. Amina Zawedi, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, during a validation engagement on policies and regulations for ICT authorization and e-waste management in the Comesa region.
E-waste management is a regional and global concern. Although the demand of technology, measures must be taken into account to protect the environment.
You know, before the focus on waste has been on rubbish and garbage, but now with the growing need and demand for technology, we see a lot of waste in terms of computers that have come to end of life, servers that have come to end of life. With the transformation of technology, before we used to have bigger phones, now we have small ones. So one wonders, where did those big phones go? How are we managing them? How are we ensuring that they do not affect the environment within which we are living? So from a country perspective, regional as well as global perspective, everyone is concerned about e-waste management, because if we don't handle it right now, when the demand for digitization is getting higher, we shall get to a point where we have waste that we cannot control and waste that is going to impact and damage our environment.
Uganda has policies for e-waste management, but limited funding hinders implementation.
We also have regulations and guidelines for e-waste management, but many times the enforcement of these regulations is difficult, or it is sometimes neglected simply because we do not, for example, for e-waste, you require a lot of resources and investment to manage e-waste. You need maybe centers where you deposit that waste. You need centers for recycling the waste, which we have not yet had, but we have a plan of developing some of these e-waste and refurbishment centers.
The Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, points out the challenges caused by lack of e-waste management, including environmental degradation.
You know, some of those items, they contain some hazardous minerals like lead and other rare minerals which can affect the environment. It can affect the agriculture production, it can affect health. So we need to mitigate those side effects.
Currently, many institutions have storerooms filled with high obsolete electronics, which is useless. Winnie Ainembabas Katwire, reporting for UBC.
Provision of specialized heart treatment services are steadily improving as government and private sector health players continue to invest in the acquisition of high-tech equipment. Case Hospital is among the few private health facilities that has acquired the catheterization lab to treat heart-related complications.
The World Health Organization report of 2023 shows that approximately 19 million people globally die of cardiovascular diseases annually, with 95% of the cases being heart attack and stroke. In order to improve cardiac care in Uganda, government and private sector health players are continuing to invest in high-tech equipment. Case Hospital has now acquired the catheterization lab to ease access to specialized services in the country.
Of the common complications that you might see include the strokes that Andrew is talking about, the heart attacks that might happen, and even significant other challenges that might result in brain-related complications. So the cath lab as a unit is one of those special places where a lot of these complications can actually be ably managed.
Presents us literally the pinnacle of care as far as cardiovascular diseases. This will mean the blood vessels and the heart. So it helps us to give you the high-end care that you would find anywhere in the world. So Ugandans no longer have to go outside the country. The moment you have such conditions, you present to hospital and you're able to be treated.
The catheterization lab can help in the treatment of other body organs.
Not just the heart, but many other organs like the lungs, the blood vessels, even the brain in cases when you have a stroke.
The cath lab is a key milestone in the country. A lot of patients move out of this country for tertiary care outside the country. But most of the heart diseases will not allow you to even cross the border. If they attack and you're not given services in time, little can be done. That's why we provide this. We were inspired to bring this service right at home.
As non-communicable diseases continue to increase, timely care and investment in the provision of specialized services will improve health outcomes for the population.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, through World Muslim League, has pledged a continuous support to Uganda in the education sector. We have the details.
Strong responsibility to your children, to help him, to support him. When you support them today, they're going to support you in the future. That's very important care, concern. You have to take it. You have to take it in your account.
Saba webayise yeka webatayise oli kulisti.
عندما جئت إلى هنا بأن أرى هذه الجهود الطيبة وهذه الإنجازات العظيمة التي يقوم بها مكتب الرابطة في أوغندا.
أقام يسمى nnyo bwe ntuuse wano n'endaba kaweefube ali wano n'emirimu emirungi egikolebbwa egy'ettendo nga gikolebbwa ofiisi ya Muslim World League.
Then lastly, the last room is a classroom for candidates, primary 7. They have also put a classroom there. But the Muslim World League so we want also to thank you for renovation of our library, where you keep our books. Is also behind there. Ahmed Sarhan, to give to the needy and the orphanage families some items, is food items. Inshallah, it will be you can see later.
The Cambridge International Center has released the A-level results for the May-June 2025 examinations. Among the institutions that received their results is Vienna College Namugongo, which presented over 100 candidates for the sitting.
And we are really very pleased. And as I usually state, there are usually 4 or 5 cornerstones that makes up an institution always shine. The principle of it are the students. We have very good students. The bulk of the students in Vienna College come when they know the purpose. And to that I must attribute the decision by their parents to allow their children have a say in their lives at an early stage. The bulk of students who join Vienna, in fact, they have a very big stake in convincing their parents that allow us to study in Vienna College. So it has a very good bearing that when you allow someone to express themselves and do whatever they want to do, they usually at times do very well with it.
So for me, my message to parents out there is to encourage your children to do what they want to do. For me, not to impose. For me, I'm a lawyer by profession. I have a doctorate in law, a master's in law, and a bachelor's degree in law. And I thought that my children would be lawyers. But here I am. That girl today is in 3rd year doing aerospace engineering in Canada. And the brother here is going to do chemical engineering. So for me, I'm an investor of engineers, but I'm a lawyer. So as parents, we should not impose ourselves on our children. Let's allow them.
All examinations, all curriculum are good. And I would like to agree that people should be given a choice. And that's why our choice was Cambridge. But we also have other open choices. For today, this is Vienna. This is a legacy. This is what almost goes on year in, year out. And that's one of the reasons that attracts us, the parents, to bring some of our children here.
We need to train the children to have Christian values. Our children, like other children, have the opportunity to learn Christian values as well, and them as having trained by dedicated professionals.
Evangelist Ezekiel Odera has applauded Uganda for the hospitality accorded to him. He is in the country for a revival healing crusade at Nsambya Chirombe grounds.
From other sides of Uganda, or all of us are from Kampala. You have people from Congo. Watu wa Congo mpo, nione mkono wa Congo. You are most welcome. Are people going to stay here overnight? So our crusade team have also arrived. They are within Kampala, and this is how we normally operate. We will all be here during the night for prayers. That is how we do it. We are not masters, we are servants, and we will be praying with you here over the night. I take this opportunity to thank my brothers and sisters, the pastors and apostles from Uganda, who have made it possible. They have been working day and night to make sure that the crusade is very successful.
Techno and MTN. Together, our flash snap is unstoppable. Grab the Techno Camon 40 series and get free 9 GB of MTN data, valid for 3 months. Don't wait. Get your Techno Camon 40 today at Techno stores and MTN outlets. MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. Over 6 billion shillings has been disbursed to teachers under their SACCO program, but the Uganda Liberal Teachers Union is now grappling with a leadership dispute that could disrupt the scheme.
And the Liberal Teachers Union says 200 teachers have benefited from the 6.6 billion shillings SACCO, with 52 set for training Friday.
So all those teachers whom have applied for the loans and the management has cleared them, on Friday they will come for training, and the day after they will go with their checks. The manager has assured me that all is ready.
Progress continues amid controversy as a leaked letter, allegedly from the Trade Minister, orders reinstatement of former SACCO chairman.
We got a letter from signed, purportedly signed by the Minister of Trade, and it was addressed to the former chairman of the SACCO, Mr. Mtesasira Evans Kaganizo, and it is directing him to get back to office where he was suspended. We thought that was wrong, and that is why we are here to say we didn't get a copy of that letter except what we picked from the social media, and it is purportedly signed by the Honorable Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives.
Officials accuse the former chairman of illegally misusing official branding, documents and corporate wear, calling his actions misleading.
Let us continue being focused. We know the direction we are taking. Last time I told you, we are the right union place to be for Uluti, because he is, pretending here and there, trying to jeopardize, to manipulate either way, to continue confusing us. He has stolen a lot from us, what belonged to us. Let us not give him further opportunity to rob us further. That is my plea to the public.
They thanked law enforcement and anti-corruption agencies for their support.
We request the teachers outside there and the public. I think at this particular time they are supposed to give a deaf ear to our brother, because he is using the words to convince them and they all follow him, and yet he is doing the wrong thing.
The SACCO program supports teachers with practical projects without the need for lengthy proposals. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
The Uganda National Para-Powerlifting team has intensified training ahead of the World Para-Powerlifting Tournament, which is due on the 5th of October this year in Cairo, Egypt.
Remember, we are preparing for Los Angeles 2028 to make sure that this time around we can at least take the team of 3 or 4 people to go and represent Uganda. Last time we took only 1 athlete. I'm sure this time we can take more than 3 to make sure that we raise the Uganda flag.
These para-powerlifters break all myths against persons living with disability. For them, powerlifting is passion, especially when they don national colors during international tournaments. At Better Fitness Gym is where these para-powerlifters are having their strength and conditioning drills to prepare for the World Para-Powerlifting Championship.
We thought that this gym would be of help to such people because in the general image, many people don't take disabled people as people who are capable of doing anything. But as Better Shape Fitness Gym, we've seen so much potential in these people.
Yeah, I'm calling upon all well-wishers of this sport of powerlifting and all sports. Please come and support these guys. Some people, when they look at these disabled people or people with impairment, they think that these people, they cannot do anything. But I want to assure you, these are one of the people that can manage to represent you.
Zawe De Rebecca and Ugandan national bench press champion Sebagala Ismail assert that they target for a podium finish during the international championship.
Trainings ekimala okugenda mu mpaka era nga mmanyi nti nja kufunayo results ennungi.
Akakiiko kaffe katukutte ne katutegeka bulungi ne bateekamu tayimu yaabwe era twebaza akakiiko akatukulembera beebale nnyo tebajjanga okwo era tuli beetegefu okukiikirira eggwanga lyaffe ku All African Games.
Team captain Bazira Dennis aspirants not to hide their children living with a disability.
Abo abaana ba mugaso balabire ku ffe nti nakava France mu Paralympic Games wali atafunangako na kirooto kulinnya ku nnyonyi naye ffe tuzirinnya. So abaana abo ba mugaso nkubiriza bonna abaliko obulemu totunulira kyotasobola wewe time onoonye kyosobola. Players
who will excel in the World Para-Powerlifting Championship will qualify for the 2028 Summer Olympic Games in the United States. Reporting for ABC TV, Helen Barbara, Jizamba.
MultiChoice has launched the 2025-26 football season. We have it in detail.
With major European football just days away to return, MultiChoice Uganda has officially launched the start with a vibrant 6-a-side football tournament hosted at Equinox Sports Centre. The event marked the beginning of what promises to be the most thrilling football season yet, with a super sport delivering unrivaled access to the world's biggest leagues and competitions.
We're very excited today because we are launching the new football season, which essentially began with, of course, the CHAN that's going on. Well done to Team Uganda in their last match. In terms of the other matches that are beginning on the 15th with the Premier League, we're also very excited about bringing football to our subscribers through SuperSport on both DSTV and GoTV. Important is to know that we're going to bring you all the matches live. High definition on DSTV, standard definition on GoTV. And that means that you get the best in action of sports right at your TV.
The tournament that was packed with thrilling action climaxed with Mad McCann claiming the top prize after defeating New Vision.
This is all we had for you this evening. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakona and the whole team. Have a good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign.